kind of the overview. We appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this short video that we're putting together. What I'm going to be doing is giving an overview of kind of the marriage between Renua and UHSpro. We'll go into kind of the problems and solutions, as well as our back office, which has a great deal of information, and then I'll open it up for questions and answers at the end. So we'll jump right into it. So Renua and UHSpro integration. Why the change? Well, a couple reasons. One is that when we discovered or found, I should say, Renua Medical, we were absolutely thrilled on that first box there of the exceptional product that they carry. Obviously, the RM3A, and each one of these individual products, we'll talk about them later, but just the RM3A, the NLAW, the Straight Medical Labs, the wave therapy, and then we also brought in Synergy from our side. But the kind of a Cadillac of products that we're absolutely thrilled with. We had been using other devices in the past, but once we came upon the RM3A, it wasn't even a contest. And so we loved meeting Renua because of their products. On the flip side, the second box there, the marketing expertise, what we're very good at is marketing, sales and marketing. Everything we do is in-house. In a few minutes, you can be seeing a lot of the marketing materials, videos, and all those things. That's all done in-house. We have our own video team, graphics team, and so when Renua saw what we do, they were thrilled. And so between the two of us, it's kind of a nice marriage because we love what they have and they love what we do. And so by combining the two together and partnering up, kind of gets us to that third box because there's just so many opportunities, especially residual opportunities out there, that we can actually leverage Renua's products, our marketing abilities, and actually capture that opportunity. And so that's kind of how we came together. Is we both loved what the other person did, and so it was a perfect fit for us. Now I'm going to go through a four-step process, kind of outline what's the problem, the solution, the value, and the plan, and how it all kind of fits together. The problem. Now, from a doctor's perspective, as we go around this little wheel here, you can see obviously there's been economic turndown. They have mountains of regulation now. Their reimbursements have anywhere decreased from 30% to 50%. So they're not getting near the amount of money that they were a couple of years ago. With the health reform, obviously, Obamacare is a big part of that. A decrease in patient visits. I mean, I'm talking to doctors right now where their copays, went from $500 to $5,000. Well, now they just aren't going to the doctor. And so that decrease in patient visits is also hitting the doctors very hard. The paper charts, the paperwork, the federal programs, the marketing company, I mean, all these things. It's just a myriad of problems now that are headaches for the doctor saying, what do I do? Now, that's the doctor's problem. The patient's problem is cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in America. Roughly 50% of the heart attacks are asymptomatic. In other words, they don't even have any symptoms. And so you've got the doctors that need more money. You have the patients which are in desperate need, especially now with cardiovascular disease, of finding a solution, but they haven't got the money or the ability to see the doctor. And so it's just kind of a conundrum for both parties. And so what we do is come up with a solution. Now for the doctor, obviously, they want a proven turnkey system. It's got to be, they haven't got time to relearn or reinvent the wheel. Someone needs to come in and just drop something in. It's easy for them to do, and off they go. And so that's what we've done. And what's nice about it is that first word is that it's a proven turnkey system. This isn't something that we hope maybe it could possibly work. We've been doing this now for almost a year, this specific model, and it works very, very well. The beauty for the doctors is that insurance pays, and in most cases, it pays extremely well. All of our financial projections, our costing, and everything that we do is based on Medicare, and typically, in most cases, it's the lower end of the insurance payout. What happens is with our programs that we do with the doctors is we give them a set fee. It's called our rental assessment fee, and typically that fee is set, and so what ends up happening is that the doctor gets anything above that fee. So in other words, it can be extremely lucrative depending upon the insurance mix of that practice because they're getting all the upside. The next thing is no upfront costs. Now, what happens is with Renewa, what they've been doing, and they are continuing to do it, but we're slowly making adjustments there, is they would sell a $40,000 device, drop it into the office, train them, and then they're done. We actually now, with our program with the ARM3A, we actually drop in the device into the practice at no cost to the doctor. And so there is no upfront cost. We are literally dropping a $40,000 device in their office at no cost to them and charging them, like I said, our rental assessment fees. And so it's great for them to actually get in, kind of dip their toe in the water, see that it works, and there's no upfront cost to them, which is a wonderful thing when money is so tight for many of these doctors. The next thing is that obviously the test is a 4-minute non-invasive screening. It's very easy. What I love about the RM3A is that the results are immediate. You're not just going to prick a finger, draw some blood or whatever, and then send it off to a lab, and then in a couple of weeks from now we'll find out what the results are. It's immediate and it's non-invasive, and so I love that about the RM3A. And the last thing is that we handle all the billing. For many of these practices, the billing is a headache. Some of these practices, their office manager is their wife. They have no expertise in the billing area, and so we handle everything from start to finish. We drop in the device, we do the billing, and it just works very, very smoothly. So that's kind of our solution. Now the value to the doctor is, depending on how many assessments they're doing on a weekly basis, it can be an additional $5,000 to $10,000 a month per provider. Now that's important that we say per provider. So for example, we have a device that's down, we're actually installing that or dropping that in down in Vegas. And it's 5 different doctors in the same building. And so what ends up happening is that they're able to leverage that device. And if you've got a small practice of 3 or 4 doctors, and each doctor is generating an additional $5,000 to $10,000 per doctor, that is a huge, revenue stream for that practice. And so that's the #1 value that we bring to them. We also increase patient and health and clinical insight for the patients. So in other words, if you have not been exposed yet to the RM3A, and hopefully that will be soon, the amount of detail is crazy. There's hundreds of data points that a doctor now is able to drill down and get some very, very important insights into the clinical health of their patients that may send up some flags of additional testing and additional things that may be charged to the patient. And so it's just a great thing. This program helps the doctor, once again, also helps the patient, so great value. The plan is we can have literally from start to finish, once a doctor has been presented to, they accept, they sign the contract, in 2 to 3 weeks, they're up and running. And so basically we're just saying to them, when do you want to start? And so what I want to do now is I want to jump into the back office and actually get into some of the nuts and bolts and the details of some of the things that we have, so that as you get out there and you start to use this, you'll be able to access this as well. What you'll be doing is, and I'll go there in just a second, is you'll be going to UHSpro.com is what you type into your internet. Once you get there, you're going to be going to the cells section, and you'll see me do this in just a second. And I'll scroll down to the cells section. Now, mine's automatically going to go into the back office, but just for you, once you type the UHSpro.com, the username you'll use is Renewa, and the password is medical357. All of these are lowercase, and so let's go there now and you'll see the actual back office. Okay, so this is our site. You'll actually go to services, you'll scroll down to sales rep, and you would have put in username, Renewa, password, medical357, and then now you're in the back office. And so I kind of want to explain how we use this and how it all works. This first tab, the product training and certification, this first little button is just a very quick, maybe a 30-second read, kind of gives you an overview of the certification. Here's the training materials that you'll have to read and understand and know. Now, these first 3 are critical because there's actually 4 different tests, and these first 3 tests, in order to sell the RM3A, you must pass all 3. And if you want to sell the wave therapy, then you have to pass the 4th test. And so this is where you get the training at, and then once you do that, you get your certification test here. Now, in order to do a certification test, when you are ready, you will contact Carlos, and he will contact us. We will provide a security key It is actually by individual, so we can actually track your testing. And so each person that is tested has to have their own security key, and Carlos will like I said, request those from us and pass those on to you. So that's where you take the tests in order. Now you must pass, if you're selling the RM3A, those three, the wave therapy, that one test before you can go ahead and actually represent the product. So that's where that's done. The video section, we are continuing to expand this. There's in-lab training, straight medical labs, which we'll come back to. Now, a lot of times when you are talking to a doctor, one of the questions they ask is, well, who can I talk to that's doing this? The issue is just as they are busy, so are the other doctors are busy, and so to try and come up with a time that they can both talk to each other has been very cumbersome and almost impossible, trying to get those schedules married up with each other. And so what we've done is Dr. Sass here, we actually have two different versions. We have the short version, and Dr. Malavi here, the long version. This is probably about 22 minutes. This is like 2 to 3 minutes. Basically, what we did is we did an interview style and just asked them, how has the RM3A improved your clinical insights? How has it improved your financial situation in your office, et cetera? And so what you can do is use these as needed and say, you know, it's really difficult to get another doctor on the phone, but here is someone, he was actually an ER doctor, and you can actually hear how he uses it in his office and things. This next thing is, I'm actually going to play this in just a second. This is a 2-minute commercial. Let's say, for example, that you're in an area and you want to hit, 50 doctors. You can actually email this to them and say, hey, just click on this link and watch this. This is it's probably 2-3 minutes, but it basically paints the picture of you need to talk to me. And so I'm going to go ahead and start this, have you guys listen to it really quick, and then we'll go from there.
How much does it reduce your reimbursements? 25%? 50%? You are not alone. 1 out of 4 primary care physicians are reporting poor financial health. Among those, half had trouble covering costs resulting from falling reimbursements and the rising costs of practice. At the same time, cardiovascular disease continues to be the #1 killer in America today. Half of all heart attacks occur without prior symptoms. Here's the good news. We have a solution to increase your revenue that you can implement immediately at no cost. In 2010, the National Institutes of Health initiated an ongoing study on over 2,200 patients. The study demonstrated the effectiveness of pulse wave velocity screening in determining arterial stiffness and cardiovascular events in patients with or without symptoms. UHSpro provides a turnkey solution for practices wanting to make an impact on cardiovascular disease. Our non-invasive pulse wave velocity screening provides the clinical insights to improve patient health. Here's the better news. Insurance pays for the screening. There's no cost for the technology. There is no additional infrastructure cost. We handle everything and customize around your workflow. Are you ready to increase your revenue by over $10,000 per month per provider? Talk to us about how we can start screening in your practice today.
Okay, I don't know how good that volume was on that video, but you get the idea. You can actually go back and watch that later, but that's just a great marketing piece that we did here, and that kind of gives you a flavor of the expertise and kind of how we do things here at UHSpro. And just so you know, as of yesterday, we actually did filming on the RM3A. We're going to be creating a 2 to 3 overview video of that device. Sometimes there's sales representatives that don't have an RM3A and they want to go out and sell. And so we're actually creating a video that you'll be able to show the actual doctor, hey, here's the video of the actual device. You've got this commercial we just shot as well. And so we're just continually trying to make tools that you guys can use. So speaking of that, I'm going to the marketing materials section of the back office. This is where, as you can see, we've divided up everything by category. Here's the RM3A, NLAW, Synergy, Straight Medical Labs, etc. So I'm going to first talk about the RM3A. We are slowly creating, we've done this for a couple of them already. This right here is a 2-page kind of a leave behind handout of, so you're talking to a doctor, you leave them this, it's kind of it has a front and back of, you know, the features, 9 important ways of why you want to do the assessment program. So this is just a nice little piece that we created here in the office that it just, once again, it's something that you can leave with the doctor. The next thing is there's a kind of a practice opportunity. This actually gives you an idea, or the doctor an idea of how much, if it is X number of screens, how many physicians, etc., kind of the money that they could make. This is the actual contract, and that's something that you want to read and review, and that's the contract that they'll be signing. Now here's something that's also important, kind of unheard of in the industry, but what we've done is we actually have a certificate here. You can actually print this up and give this to the doctor. What the certificate is that when we place a device in their office, and just so that we're clear, we charge $150 per assessment. That's our rental assessment fee. It's $150, and then, like I said, anything above that, the doctor keeps. And so, for example, there are some insurance companies that are paying $700, $800 for an assessment, and we're charging $150. You better believe that really turns some heads with some of these doctors that you're talking to. Now, what this guarantee is, let's say, for example, that an assessment is done. We get the super bill or Renewa, and that's passed on to Renewa Medical. Renewa Medical does the billing, and for whatever reason, they submit a claim. It's been declined. They will fight it, but let's say in the end it actually is declined, and they say for whatever reason we're not going to pay this this fee or pay this claim. We then go back to the doctor because the doctor has been billed. We've billed them for that assessment. Any claims that are not paid, we will then reimburse them the $150 that they were charged. So they'll either be reimbursed or credited, but the point being is that if they are not paid on that assessment, they are reimbursed. It's a 100% money back guarantee. There is no risk to the doctor. They get paid or we don't. And so once again, just all of these little things that we provide the doctor, you know, a lot of times they'll come up with different reasons of why they don't want to do it, and I think for the most part have eliminated virtually every single roadblock that they may throw up as, hey, look, there's a money back guarantee, and yes, you're not paying $40,000 for this device, we're doing that, etc., and we're doing the billing, and so it really is a nice little system that we have. What's even nicer about this is, yes, we have Renew reps that are still selling the RM3A, which you still can do. The difference, though, is that we offer a residual that for every assessment that we are paid on, you are also paid. So this becomes not a one-time sell. This becomes a residual for you year after year, as long as that doctor is implementing our program within their office. This one right here, this full booklet here, some of you may be familiar with that. It used to be 36 pages long. With us working with Renewa, we actually have tailored that down and kind of upgraded a little bit. It's now 24 pages, and so it's much easier now for the doctor to use. Also, too, you'll notice here the ICD-10 codes are also in there. Effective as of today, the ICD-10 codes are going to effect, and so those are already in this booklet. And so once again, this is a 26-page document. It kind of goes through an overview of the CPT codes. It talks about kind of some of the reasons to do testing. And then down here, at the very ending, you know, here is kind of the CPT reimbursements and different things by state. And so that's just a nice little piece as well to use for the doctors. There's some additional information here. There's EOBs. I think these are just a couple months old. Here's a sample report that you could show of an actual RM3A test and say, well, what does the report look like? You could actually print this off and actually show them this is the amount of detail that you're getting on your patients. Now, just so you know, depending upon how the quality of health of the patient, the RM3A can print just a one-page summary. It can do just a physician summary, and it can do a full report. A full report can be up to, and this includes diet and health changes, but that report with everything can be up to 18 pages long on one patient. And so the amount of detail that's provided is just, I think it's crazy. That's why I love the RM3A. This little tool here is also a great little tool. Let's say, for example, that you're in with the doctor, and he goes, well, you know, how's this going to benefit my practice? This is a Excel spreadsheet that you can actually download, have this on your laptop or whatever. And what you do is you start filling in the information. You know, how many full-time practitioners are there? How many PAs, et cetera? How many patients have you got? You fill in all this information on the practice, and the very next page says, well, doctor, according to the information you just gave me, these are your numbers, depending upon how many patients, et cetera. And in this case, I think there was 4 doctors and 2 PAs, and it says if you were to do this, your net profits right here, net, after all expenses, this includes, let's say that you have to pay a staff person to do the screening, and we're high on that. You're making over $900,000 for that practice. That tells you, you know, monthly, annual, 5 years. So this is the ROA. This is the return on investment, and there really is very little investment other than time for that doctor. And so what's nice about this piece is, all right, according to the information you just gave me, here's your bottom line. What do you think? And then this also, the third page here is what's called the Go Live checklist. It starts to fill in information here because when we actually go live, there's 3 things that we need from each of you. We need a signed contract. We need the Go Live checklist filled out, which includes, you know, what's the name of the biller, what's their cell number, what's their email, what's the name of the technician, etc. We need all of this information because when Renua gets this Go Live checklist with the contract, they then will call the office directly. They'll set up the training. Renua does the training for the tech. They do the training for the billing department and what they need to submit to Renua. And they also do training with the physician. So that's why we need this information. And so it's nice that it's automatically being filled already as you're going through the process and kind of letting the doctor know what his ROI is. So once again, just a great little piece. Anyway, so that's kind of the RM3A. Like I said, you can use the commercial that we saw in the video section. You have a 2-page handout. You can talk about the guarantee, show them the bill and the CPT codes, what's being paid out, the EOBs, a sample report and analysis, and then once again, like I said, we're creating another RM3A video, which will be in the video section. And so that's, I think, a very nice suite of products and information that can be used to sell the RM3A. The NLAL is the same thing. Here's all the documentation on the NLAL, kind of the fat loss and how that works. Here's another product line called Synergy. A lot of times when the RM3A is someone's being tested, on the report that pops up, it says that depending upon their condition, you need to consider an L-arginine product. This is a product line that we've been using for years with other doctors that we have. There's videos you can watch, there's handouts, etc. Here's another 2-page handout on this product. It's actually in the PDR as the highest quality L-arginine product in the world. And so that's kind of a product that we use. And then finally, you have Straight Medical Labs. Now, Straight Medical Labs is also something that is very significant. It has your replacement bars, your shakes, it has soups. I mean, it's actually real food meal replacement. And so what happens a lot, which I love about the product line that we're carrying, is we're also working a great deal with weight loss clinics. Most of them are diabetic, they have high blood pressure, etc. So we're able to use the RM3A. We test them, build the insurance. The NLAL fat loss, those are actually plates that you put on their body, which actually helps to release the fat so they can actually lose weight. Oh, and by the way, because of your high blood pressure, you need to be taking the L-arginine supplement. Here you go. Oh, and here's the food that you should be eating. I had a doctor, actually a sales rep that was talking to a doctor, and he says, yeah, he goes, I do weight loss. I make a list, and I tell the patient to go down to this nutrition store, and I tell them what to buy, what brand, etc. And the sales reps, are you kidding me? We have Straight Medical Labs. Instead of sending the patients to someone else, you can carry this product in your office. This is clinically proven products. I think that's very important, is that they're able to say that, is that the products that they're offering from their office, an additional revenue source for that office, and an additional revenue source for you as a salesperson. All of these work in concert, and I love that. So we have the food, we have the L-arginine, We have the plates for the fat release, and we actually test them for the insurance. And so all of these work very, very well with each other. And at your leisure, go through these, watch the videos, look at the different pieces as you see fit. Practice resources, we have the Superbill ICD-9s. As of today, we have the ICD-10s, and here's the billing process of what the office would do in submitting their Superbills to renew it for the billing, etc. Here's studies that you can reference as needed. Sales guides. There's only a couple of them in there right now. We eventually will have 5 sales guides. Basically what this is for you as a salesperson. Let's say you don't know a whole lot about the RM3A. We've gone in and said, here's the solution, here's kind of the business drivers and value, here's the core features, so that you can kind of get an idea of your selling points. And so we've done that for the RM3A, we've done that for the Synergy, and we'll get it for the wave therapy, the straight medical labs, and then also the NLAW. So those are just basically sell sheets for you. These are not to be given to the doctors. This is for you as a salesperson, just to kind of get an idea of some of the talking points that you need to have. And then occasionally we'll drop some webinars in here. So overall, that's what we do. Our main focus is the RM3A. And yes, we do and can continue to sell them at this point, but we're trying to move as many as we can to the assessment program. It's very simple. Just if you've been selling RM3As, it's the same pitch. You're selling them on the assessment program. Instead of dropping the $40,000, we drop it into your office for free. We charge $150 per assessment. You have the guarantee, and now it turns into residual for you. And so hopefully, as you see, we're continuing to make more and more marketing pieces. If there's other areas that or holes that we need to have filled, please contact Carlos and he'll let us know. But our whole intent here is to give you all the tools, all the marketing material, so that you're able to go in and make that initial approach, and then give you all the follow-up documentation as well. And so for now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to close or stop the presentation,